What's up, guys? Dan here. Thanks so much for joining in for another video. So I've been trying to make this video in Drive, but this little guy will not let me put him down. So it looks like he's going to be hanging with us for a few minutes here. So I wanted to make a video about Corsair purchasing Fanatec. Now, I know this is not new news. It happened while I was gone doing my outside stuff, but I have been watching and checking out everything that's been going on and watching along as it was happening. So we all know that Fanatec had some issues. I made some videos about it. Everybody was talking about it in the space, in the sim racing space, and that's all behind us. And definitely we all kind of knew something needed to happen, something needed to change to get them back going on their feet. And so when it came out that they were going to be for sale, there were many companies I think we all know were prospects of purchasing it. And of course, Corsair was one of the many prospects. And secretly, the whole time I was hoping that that is what would happen. And so it did. And I wanted to just talk a few minutes, give you my opinion on why leading up to Corsair actually finalizing the purchase and taking them. I wanted to give you my take on why I thought that they were the best company to do that job. So this is not going to be about anything that happened to Fanatec in the past, the troubles that they were having. This is all about why I thought Corsair was going to be the best for the future for them. And by the way, this cat does not belong to me. He came from outside somewhere, and he does not like to be put down. But anyways, so Corsair is pretty well known in the gaming community. They make a lot of great components for PCs. I'm running quite a few components from them in my computer right now. I have a 1,000-watt power supply from them and some other stuff, which is overkill for my setup, but you know, you always want to future-proof. But they make great stuff. But what a lot of people don't know about Corsair is that since about 2018 or 2019, they've actually been in the business of buying companies that are struggling. So, you know, Corsair's been around for a long time. They've done a great job, and they have phenomenal management skills of keeping businesses going. And that is what they do well. And so what they've done is they've come in and swooped in and bought a lot of smaller companies that were in trouble. And a lot of people would assume that that's bad, kind of a monopoly, a bigger company coming in and swooping up and buying all of these smaller companies. But in fact, when it comes to Corsair, that's not the case at all. And one of the big reasons that I wanted them to buy Fanatec or Fanatec, however you want to say it, is because of the way they purchase companies. So when Corsair purchases a company, they don't change anything about that company except for the way the company manages business on a day-to-day basis. Payments, shipping, customer service, things like that. That's what they're really good at, obviously. And for the case of Elgato, for example, they purchased a few years ago. Everybody in the gaming community is familiar with Elgato, but I bet most people don't realize that Corsair actually bought them. And that's because of the way that Corsair buys companies. They purchase them and they help out where they need help, but they don't change anything about the company itself. They don't change the employees. They don't change the branding. They don't change the products. Nothing changes. So as a consumer, we don't realize that much has changed unless you saw somewhere that they were actually purchased. But as the consumer of the component, we don't know. And that, in my mind, was the best case scenario. Whoever bought Fanatec or Fanatec, whoever would buy them, that was going to be the best case scenario. And that's what needed to happen, because I've said this a million times before. Yes, they've had some issues with customer service and stuff like that, but for the most part, their sim racing components are phenomenal. They have got some of the best. That's why they had such a large market share of sim racing without being that big of a company, which is what got them in trouble in the first place. But when you have a company that makes great products and it's the other stuff behind closed doors that they're having trouble with, what you want is a company that's willing to come in, give them the money and the management skills and the behind closed doors, the resources that a company like that has. You just want them to give those resources without really changing anything so much to the point where anybody would even know that anything has changed at all with the company. And that is, in fact, exactly what is happening here. And so I'm very hopeful for the future of Fanatec. I think Corsair is going to be a great owner of them, and I've watched some interviews and stuff like that, and it does seem like they have no plans of changing the employees, no plans of changing their components or anything like that. In fact, one of the things that I saw him talking about in an interview, the owner or the CEO or whatever you want to call the main guy, he said that they had a goal of putting Fanatec products or Fanatec. I don't know which way you're supposed to say it, so I'm sure you guys will all let me know. But he was saying that he wants to do whatever they have to do to get Fanatec products in stores. So, for example, over here we have Best Buy, which is a store that you can actually go in and test products, and that is their goal, to get Fanatec products on the shelves of those stores, because that's a big issue with many sim racing products, other than maybe Logitech is, I believe, the only one really. So Micro Center has some stuff also, but you know, the main brand would be Logitech that you can find like in a Best Buy, in a big box store. But other than that, you don't. And I think it's truly important to get the good stuff and sim racing components and stuff in big box stores, because people like to come in and feel and see what they're purchasing. I know I'm like that, and so that's a good thing. But anyways, you know, I'm super looking forward and very excited about the future of Fanatec. I think that it's going to be great. I think all the worry and the issues that they had before, I think, are going to be behind us. Of course, it does sound like they have a backlog of people they're still trying to get caught up with customer service issues and stuff like that, but they will. I have no doubt that they will. And yeah, and I'm just very happy that Corsair is the company that bought them, because nothing for us is going to change about Fanatec other than the fact that it'll be easier to get items, quicker to get items. If you have a customer support issue, it'll be much quicker to get that stuff sorted out, which is great. That's really the only problems that they had. And with Corsair buying them out, that's what's going to happen. And it sounds like they're not going to change anything about it, just like the many other companies that they have incorporated under the umbrella of Corsair. So yeah, so let me know what you think about that. I'm super excited to see the future of Fanatec. You know, I've got some of their stuff. I'm using a Camus wheel now because I'm testing it, but you know, I've always loved Fanatec products, and I think, you know, I will always be a fan of them. And I was really saddened by the fact that they were having so much trouble. And so I'm glad that Corsair swooped in. I really believe that they are the right company to have done that. Because believe me, there were a lot of other options out there that probably would have swooped in, taken their technology, slapped a different name on it, and many things would have just changed instead of what I believe is going to happen with Corsair, which is basically any of the trouble spots they were having before. Corsair is going to kind of help them out with that stuff, but Fanatec will still be Fanatec as we know it today, just without the hiccups that they were having for the last couple of years. So like I said, let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think. And as always, thanks for joining in for the video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. We'll see you later.